Hi everybody, if you're watching this, then that means I moved to Costa Rica. We'll jump straight into it. If you're new here, my name is Romani. I originally am from Detroit, Michigan, but I just moved from Los Angeles, California to Costa Rica. In this video, I want to talk about why I'm here, my initial impressions, what I'm experiencing now. I just want to talk about everything that has to do with this move to Costa Rica. So I'm in Costa Rica because I was offered the opportunity to be a yoga instructor at a wellness resort out here. So they've hired me for 6 weeks to teach my hip hop and R&B yoga classes. I basically created hip hop and R&B yoga in Los Angeles just because there was a lack of diversity when it came to the yoga industry. Everything was mainly whitewashed. There was no yoga studios, access to wellness in South LA. There are a few places, or shall I say a couple places, that you can go. It wasn't nothing in my area, and I wasn't about to keep driving to white areas just to experience wellness. I was a yoga instructor at a studio, and then one day I was just tired of it and I branched out. Well, actually, I won't say I was tired of it. I just got, well, yes, I guess tired of like the mundane day to day, but I was never planning on being there long term just because I don't like working for people. I've always had my own businesses. I just decided to work at the yoga studio because after I got done with my yoga certification, they offered me a job and it was just really easy to do that. So I stayed there for about 4 months, but then I branched out. I started hip hop and R&B yoga, and it's basically regular yoga just with the hip hop and R&B playlist. So of course I was recording the classes, I was posting it on TikTok, I was posting it on Instagram. I created kind of like a portfolio on my Instagram. So if you're a business owner, I know that sometimes it can get a little frustrating to create content, but always make sure you create the content because that is what's going to get you the opportunities that you want. And I keep getting asked how I got the yoga instructor position here. I literally just asked and they ended up having an opening because they hire teachers every 6 weeks and there just happened to be an opening. The owner of the resort told me that usually there is no openings. Usually people are on the waiting list for 2 years to come teach here, and she was like, I can't believe there's an opening in 2 months. Do you want to come? And I was like, girl, yes, I want to come. So I gave away mainly all my clothes to the homeless shelter. I sold my car, packed up 2 suitcases, and I came. This wasn't the only resort that I reached out to. I was honestly sending about 10 DMs a day, and the way that I found these resorts was just by typing in resorts that offer yoga, and I would DM them on Instagram, and I got a lot of no's. I think that when people see what they deem as success on Instagram or on social media in general, they think that it's always yeses in that person's life. I got so many no's, but I just didn't let it discourage me because in my head, I'm just like, I'm just not supposed to be there, and that's okay because I'm not trying to force anything anyway. That's a big bug. It is a lot of bugs out here, as you can see, but I was getting a lot of no's, but then I finally got one yes, and that's honestly all you really need to start your journey. I just got that one yes. We had a Zoom interview. I sent my Instagram, and they were able to see that I know what I'm doing. People like my classes. They were able to read the reviews, and they ended up giving me the position. And another resort also did the same thing, and I'll be there in August and September, and it's on the other side of Costa Rica. So when people ask me, like, why did you choose Costa Rica? I didn't choose Costa Rica. Costa Rica honestly chose me because that was the only space that said yes. When everybody else was saying no, they said yes. And maybe after I start creating this content and people see me actually being a traveling yoga instructor, maybe they'll say yes. For now, I'm good with it. All right, now let's talk about initial impressions. If you watched my last vlog, you know exactly what my initial impressions was because I vlogged the entire day one. If you haven't watched it yet, I'm gonna put it on the screen. You can either watch it right now, you can watch it after this. I was going through it on day one because there were so many bugs. There was like a roach, and I don't want to call it a roach if it wasn't a roach, but it definitely gave roach vibes. There was a roach, there was a moth, there was a what's that thing called? There was a gecko on the ceiling. It was so much going on. I was honestly losing my mind, but now that I've gotten some Raid, if you saw the end of the vlog, then you saw that I got some Raid. I've been spraying that like crazy, and I know Raid is poisonous because everybody in my life has been telling me like, oh my God, don't breathe in the Raid. If y'all saw the things that I was seeing every day, y'all would be spraying tons of Raid. Like there's little bugs crawling around me as we speak. Now the bugs, like the big bugs, aren't really a problem. It's really ants. I'm having like this little ant infestation and they're everywhere. So there are big ants, but there are smaller ants in the bathroom and they're crawling on everything, like my toothbrush and everything. So that's kind of just like, The big ones, they are all like at the front door just because once they walk in, the Raid kind of just like kills them. So I'm waiting on housekeeping to come get those. It's been a few days, so I don't really know what's happening with that. But honestly, I'm getting used to the bugs. You're gonna see in the next vlog, I'm getting used to the bugs. It's giving one with nature. Like I'm really becoming one with nature. Once I got that Raid, I was like, oh, I can do this. Because day one, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this a lot longer. But now I'm like, I can do this. And honestly, I was just gonna have to do it because like I said, I'm here for 6 weeks. I've already given away everything. I already sold my car and I only have 2 suitcases. So it was just gonna have to work out here. Being a solo traveler is interesting just because you're experiencing this by yourself. Like no matter how many videos, vlogs, or pictures I send y'all or I send my family, I'm honestly just experiencing this by myself for the first time. So of course there is some fear sometimes. This pathway, I'm actually like in my front porch. So this pathway walks to my front door. And so like it gets dark out here at night and I still have to walk home. Girl, I saw an anteater back here yesterday, like a gang of anteaters. So just like dealing with initial like fear and stuff like that, and no matter how much I show y'all, I'm the only one like truly experiencing it. So solo travel is quite interesting, but I've actually enjoyed it. The first day I was kind of lonely, but I think I was just a little homesick. But now since I've been teaching my classes and I've been meeting my students, they're, you know, sometimes solo traveling or they just come like with one of their best friends. I met a group of women. So like the more that I've been traveling, not the more that I've been traveling, the more I've been meeting people who are traveling, I'm getting to know people and it's not feeling lonely. I have been hanging out with a group of women and you know, we're completely different. They are middle-aged white women and I'm like a young black girl, but we've been hanging out and it's been cool, and they've been inviting me to like breakfast and lunch and dinner with them, and me and one of the women even went hiking today, and that was extremely fun. And I'm glad I got to do it because girl, I tried to do that hike the other day by myself. I literally walked 3 steps and I turned back around. I'm like, I'm not doing that by myself. And as we got deeper into the hike, I vlogged the entire thing. I think something just bit me. As we got deeper into the hike, I was like, I'm so glad that I didn't do this by myself because I literally would have lost my mind. And it's honestly cool connecting with the guests just because they're from so many different places. I've met a woman from Egypt, Miami, Boston, New York. I'm meeting so many, you know, different people, and that's cool because they're enjoying me because, you know, I'm a vibe. They're just like, oh, like when you're in my hometown, come visit, I'll host you. So like you're meeting different people. So whenever you go anywhere in the world, you're gonna know people. Now let's just talk about like the physicality of everything. As the yoga instructor, I'm teaching 2 classes a day. I'm teaching at 8 a.m. and I'm teaching at 4 p.m. So I'm teaching every single day. I'm teaching 14 classes a week. The first class, the 8 a.m. class, is the active class, the more so like power vinyasa class. And then the 4 p.m. class is more of a restorative class, which I love because the power vinyasa, I'm doing the flow too. If I was at like a regular studio, when I see the students all the time, you would have your regulars that know the flow. Since I'm at a resort, people are constantly coming and going. You may have a class with complete beginners and you have to do that sequence for them with them. So doing yoga twice a day, no days off, I'm starting to see that it can definitely be exhausting on the body. It can be taxing on the body. So I decided that I'm not going to go to the gym while I'm here. I went to the gym on day 1 after getting in all these steps because like I'm walking everywhere, I'm hiking, I'm doing yoga. I'm gonna have to take a break from the gym for now because I'm doing a lot and my lower back is hurting. Like it's just a lot. I'm definitely going to use my employee discount at the spa. I'm gonna get some massages just because I don't want to overexert myself. I do feel like I'm gonna be getting super skinny when I am done with this though, because because this resort is gluten-free and dairy-free, and everything is so fresh. They literally farm the food on the land. I was in the chicken coop the other day. You know, I don't eat chickens, and that even made me not want to eat chickens like even more, just because they was all running around. And I'm like, oh, y'all are real. But nonetheless, like, they get the chickens from the chicken coop. So the food is really fresh here, and I feel like that's gonna be great for my body, because America, the stuff that's in the food, it just makes me super inflamed. Even if it's like healthy food, I just always have like some type of issues. And I'm feeling a lot more relaxed, which it sounds crazy, but I've had to get used to that. In America, I'm just like more so used to the hustle and bustle of things. Like, I'm used to grinding, especially being in LA, being from Detroit, just having my own businesses. I'm used to having to do things. I gotta post, I gotta do this. And so being here and not having to do any of that and only doing what I want to do, like posting what I feel comfortable posting. I don't have to post to get clients. I don't have to post to make sure people come to class. That feels amazing. But I was actually beating myself up about it, just because I kind of feel not unmotivated here, but like, it's just, I'm not in survival mode, so I don't feel like I have to do anything. I feel like like, if I get to it, I get to it. So I was just like, Ramani, like, do you not care about your goals anymore? And I had to take a step back, like, bro, I care about my goals. I'm just not in survival mode anymore, and I don't have to be. Everything is taken care of for me here. I have housing, I have food, and that's typically the reasons why we're hustling, so we can have good housing and good food. And so the fact that that is given to me, I'm just realizing I really can live that soft girl life. I can live that non-survival mode life. I just feel like the pressure is off of me. There was just so much pressure because I had to pay my car note. I had to pay my car insurance. It was just so much to do all the time. And the fact that I don't have those bills anymore makes me happy. I do have credit card bills, but honestly, that's better than having credit card bills and having car bills. And that, I say car because that car has just been such a burden. If I told y'all how much my car note and my car insurance was, it was crazy. So that's the thing that I'm most excited for being out of America, is just not having bills. Girl, I hate bills. A lot of people tell me that they are nervous to move out of the country just because they don't want to leave their family behind. But I feel like this is the greatest time to leave the country and travel abroad, just because we have so much technology. I'm recording this on my phone. I get to upload it to, you know, thousands or millions of people. Anybody can watch it. You have your phone for FaceTime. You can always text people. You can send them photos. This is a perfect time to move abroad. So I know that people are nervous, but I honestly talk to my family every day. I FaceTime my mom every day. I FaceTime my friends, or I text them, I send them photos. No, it's not the same as like personally being connected with that person in person, but honestly, I was living in LA. My family lives in Michigan, so it's not like I was seeing my family every day anyway, so it didn't really take too much of a toll on me because I'm already used to being long distance with my family. Now, we do have some occasional Wi-Fi issues. It'll go in, it'll go out, but I mean, you get used to it. It'll be out for 5 minutes or it'll be out for 10 minutes. And sometimes it'll just go back and forth every 5 seconds. But sometimes, like this morning, I had really good Wi-Fi. There aren't any TVs here. If I want to watch something, I just use my laptop and I log in to whatever platform I'm trying to, girl, that's a bird. I log into whatever platform I'm trying to watch something on. I'm not really a TV watcher. I watch TV, don't get me wrong. Like, if something good is on, like Power, BMF, I'm gonna watch TV, but mostly I'm an avid reader. I love me a good book. I've honestly been reading. I've also just been chilling, and I've been sleeping because, like I said, I have to be up to teach at 8 a.m. so I like to get up at 7 a.m. Even though I live right next to the yoga studio, I just be so exhausted from walking everywhere and teaching that, girl, I go to bed at night. Like, I don't even be needing to watch TV. Something else that I've noticed is like the distortion of time. Time seems so far away here. Like, some days I don't even know what day it is, and it's crazy because this is only like my 4th or 5th day. I don't even be knowing what day it is. 1, because I do the same thing every single day, and 2, just because I'm not in the hustle and bustle of life. Everything just feels so far away. Like, even things that have happened 2 weeks ago, if I think back to it, it feels like it happened 3 years ago. I'm really excited to see what this journey of being a traveling yoga instructor has in store for me. I'm not sure if I would stay in Costa Rica long term. Like I said, I've only been here a few days, so I can't really say. It is amazing to live at a resort, but you know, it has its ups and its downs, or like its pros and its cons. So I don't really know if I would stay in this specific base, like the Central Valley of Costa Rica, not this resort, but like the Central Valley. I'm not sure if I would stay here. I like the ocean a little bit more. Maybe I would stay there, and my next resort is near the ocean, so I'll just get to see like what I like more. I'm not really like making any permanent decisions right now. I'm excited to see what this journey has in store for me, because I know it's only been like half a week, not even a full week, but I've experienced so much. If you are in this bird, okay, so it lives on top of my place. If you are an aspiring yoga instructor, or you're just a person who wants to solo travel, or you know, you're just interested in this traveling journey, I say go for it. Of course, have a plan, figure out what you're gonna do. We are not getting any younger, and in the state of the world, you just never know what's gonna happen. So girl, you just gotta do it. And I know that fear can sometimes stop people, but you really have to ask yourself, what are you scared of? Is it really that deep? Okay, you're scared to leave your family. Is it really that deep when you can FaceTime them? You really have to like break your fears down brick by brick. I'm excited to see how I will grow in this journey, what I'm gonna learn, what I'm gonna share with you all. I'm just excited for it all, and I'm glad that you are on this journey with me. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Go watch that vlog, because I went through a lot that day, and trying to vlog going through it was even more. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, because I share a little bit more than I do on here, and I will see you in my next video.
I can't see how you could bring me to so many tears after all these years. See, my days are cold without you.